You're 14 when your parents convince a local physician to take you in as his apprentice. Congratulations! You now sweep floors, boil terrifying liquids, and pray that nothing explodes while you stir it. You imagine scholars with scrolls, but you get old men coughing into jars. Progress. Your master teaches you about humors, blood, phlegm, black bile, yellow bile, 4 fluids with all the power in the universe. Has anyone actually seen black bile? You ask that once. He stares at you as if you personally offended Hippocrates. Then comes your first lesson in real medicine. A patient arrives green in the face and shaking. You stand beside the bed, trying to appear calm while your knees wobble like pudding. You whisper encouragement. The patient whispers nonsense, and a few seconds later, he's gone. So that's what death looks like. Silent, quick, and not at all dramatic. You wait for some grand revelation, but all you get is a mop and a bucket. Apprentices are very useful during life-saving situations, mostly for cleaning up after the failure. Still, you don't give up. You study harder, you memorize every herb and remedy you can, you promise yourself that one day you will heal people. One day you'll be more than someone who smells like vinegar and regret. One day the city will need you, and that day is coming. You're 20, and the world isn't exactly rolled out a red carpet for your career. You finish your training, accept your shiny papers that prove you're a physician, and then you learn a fun truth. No one really cares. The rich already have fancy doctors who wear silk caps and pretend they can talk to the stars. The poor can't pay at all, and the middle class? Well, they're saving their money for beer and bread. You wait in a tiny rented room above a baker's shop, listening to the sound of loaves selling faster than your expertise. You hang your certificate right on the wall where patients will admire it. The wall stares back. Empty chair, empty purse, empty stomach. Sometimes a neighbor arrives with a cough, asking you to bless him with some ancient healing art. You nod wisely, hand him herbal tea, and then pray he survives without needing anything expensive. If he recovers, he praises God. If he dies, he blames you. Fair system. You walk past fancy physicians, powdered and confident, laughing with important people. You imagine grabbing one by the collar and asking, how do you get anyone to believe in you? Can confidence cure buboes? Can a slick hat prevent fever? They probably think so. You start to wonder if medicine was a mistake. Maybe you should have gone into bread. Bread always has customers, and bread doesn't bleed on you. Then you hear rumors. A sickness spreading through the parishes, a strange swelling, people dying faster than graves can be dug, bells ringing far too often. The kind of stories that make every trained physician suddenly remember that they have distant family outside the city. You feel something shift. A chance. A terrible chance. But still, a chance. London is about to need doctors. Real doctors. Any doctors. Even doctors who live above bakeries. Finally, the city might open its doors to you. Of course, you have no idea that those doors will soon lock behind you. You're 25 and you've become very familiar with the smell of fear. It follows you everywhere. It's in the sweat of the dying and in the silence of those who pretend to be healthy. It's in your own clothes, no matter how much vinegar you drown them in. Fear becomes a second skin. Very fashionable this season. Your job now includes 3 activities. 1. Tell families they're infected. 2. Order them sealed inside their homes. 3. Return later to count how many are still alive. Simple, efficient, and horrifying. Every house marked with a red cross contains a story you never wanted to read. Mothers begging for one more day. Fathers offering coins, rings, anything to keep the doors open. Doors still get nailed shut. That's your handwriting on those orders. Congratulations, you're now the villain. At first, you tried to explain it. The sickness spreads and isolation saves lives. But when a mother clings to your coat and screams while soldiers drag her away, scientific reasoning feels like a very weak shield. You start writing fever explanations in your ledger. Mostly numbers now. Number of deaths, number of survivors, A number of times someone tried to stab you with a kitchen knife because they think the beak mask means you serve the devil. Statistics are inspiring. Every day someone throws garbage at you, or insults, or fists. One old man spits on your mask and tells you to take death somewhere else. You want to tell him that death did not ask for your help either. You wake at night to footsteps outside your door, sometimes shouting, sometimes silence that feels worse. You grip your cane like a sword and promise yourself you'll not panic, but you panic every night. Meanwhile, the grave pits grow, mass burials at dawn, smoke rising like the city's trying to purge itself with fire. Rats celebrate the feast of a lifetime, and you discover you hate rats. Rats spread the plague. Rats laugh at you. You dream about targeting them with your cane like a heroic knight. The rats, however, do not care. Your faith in medicine crumbles. Your faith in people dissolves. And your faith in yourself rots like everything else in this district. You arrived wanting to save London. Now you just want London to stop trying to kill you. You're 27 and London does not see your face anymore. People only see the beak. You could walk into a room completely naked except for the mask, and no one would notice anything except the giant bird nose. Comforting. You've noticed something too. Your name has disappeared from the city. Children do not whisper it. Families do not beg for it. They call you doctor only when they want something, and call you monster when you give it to them. Your signature fills page after page in the death records, yet your existence feels like a rumor. The city sounds different now. Bell after bell after bell. Every toll is another body. Sometimes you count along, then stop when the number gets offensive. You once believed numbers brought clarity. Now they feel like a sick joke. You watch carts full of corpses roll past, wheels sinking into streets that smell like rot and old prayers. The gravediggers start joking that they're overworked. Humor is healthy. Probably. Children run away when they see you, dogs bark like you're a walking plague, cats hiss and rats stare. Even the animals have opinions. You start writing in a private journal, not the city ledger, the one that pretends death is organized. This one is yours. You write everything no one wants to hear. The terror, the anger, the questions. So many questions. Why treat what cannot be cured? Why fight a war when the enemy's everywhere? Why did you ever believe this was your purpose? Some nights you remove the mask and stare into a cracked mirror. The skin around your eyes is pale and tired. You look older than your years. The leather coat has rubbed your shoulders raw. You think about who you were at 14. That boy wanted to change the world. You would settle for sleep. You start to feel invisible, and not the cool kind of invisible. The tragic kind. The kind where no one remembers you were ever here. If your mask fell into the river, would anyone notice the man drowning inside it? London keeps dying. You keep watching. And every day, a little more of you disappears behind that beak. Soon, there may be nothing left except the mask. You're 30, and you've become rather good at pretending you're invincible. You drink your vinegar. You stuff your beak with herbs until your nose begs for mercy. You hold your breath around sick people, which is daily in all ways. You wash your hands until your skin peels. You pray sometimes, not because you believe, but because panic feels worse than superstition. And then it happens. A slight tenderness under your jaw. A small bump. Harmless, right? You poke it. It hurts. Congratulations. You've diagnosed yourself with something terrible. You try to convince yourself you slept wrong. A stiff neck, yes. An aggressive pillow injury. Why not? You're creative. By the next morning, that bump has grown. Throbbing hot. Your skin looks darker there. You stare at it in the mirror and think, interesting. This looks exactly like the thing you've spent years fearing. An expert opinion. You should trust expert opinions. You wrap a scarf around your neck and go to work anyway. Doctors don't get sick. Doctors handle sickness. That's the rule. You repeat that rule while you cling to walls to keep them from falling over. You skip breakfast because your stomach is threatening to revolt. You skip lunch because you cannot swallow without feeling knives. You skip dinner because you cannot stand long enough to find food. Finally, your legs give up and you collapse onto your mattress. The fever arrives like an angry landlord demanding rent. Sweat drips down your face. The ceiling spins. You murmur brilliant diagnostic thoughts like, "This is very bad." You pull your coat around you as if leather can fight bacteria. You try treatments on yourself. A bit of bloodletting here, some foul-tasting paste there. You even sniff your rosemary bag like it's a miracle cure. Spoiler alert, it's not. Voices echo outside your door, shouting, crying. London continues drowning in death, unaware you're about to join the numbers you recorded so carefully. You lie there shivering, realizing a fun twist. You'll not die surrounded by family. You'll not die remembered as a hero. You will die alone, wearing a ridiculous mask beside a ledger full of other people's tragedy. And no one will write your name down. No one will ring a bell for you. The beak hangs on the wall, watching, waiting. You close your eyes and wonder if the mask always knew this was coming. You're 31 when the fever finally takes control. It's not dramatic. It's not symbolic. It's just a medical collapse that you've seen in hundreds of patients. And now, it's simply your turn. The fever rises until your thoughts break apart. You hear bells even when the street outside is silent. You try to sit up, but your body refuses. Your legs feel heavy and numb. Your hands shake without reason. The swelling in your neck is larger now, and the pain is sharp every time you swallow. Someone knocks on your door. They do not wait. They do not speak. People assume you're busy or already gone. No one wants to check. No one wants to be near a doctor who can no longer stand. You think about your journal. You think about the people you treated. You think about the ones you lost. You wonder if any of your notes will matter or if they'll be burned for safety. The room grows colder. You reach for your mask and fail to hold it. It falls to the floor. The herbs inside no longer have any meaning. You take one slow breath, then another. The fever tightens its grip. Your eyes close. There's no audience, no announcement, no name recorded. You die the same way most of your patients did. Quietly, unnoticed, forgotten.